When do you think realistically Small Hall will return?
I listened to your interview with Robert Smith last week, and he's hopeful it will resume in September. So I'm just hoping September. But the main thing is, I mean, even I've said to people in talking about when I'm going to be promoting, I will not even be looking at doing a show until they stop this testing. Because even, like I said, even with a full crowd, if they're still testing everybody involved in this show and having to put them in a bubble and hotels, food and everything, then it's just never going to happen, because it's just, you just can't do it. It's financially impossible. So you'd probably, even if you broke even on the show, you'd still have to find £18,000 for that side of it, the testing and that. So until they stop that, which I presume once everyone's had the vaccine and it's all out and we've all got proof that we've had the vaccine, because I presume that the board or anybody in professional sport are going to have this vaccine to be able to compete, or anyone involved in the show. So so until that's happened, I mean, we can't be looking at doing it. But I'm really hopeful September. I mean, they're moving this vaccine out quick now. A lot of people's having it. I mean, they're hoping to get everybody over 50 all done by end of March. So I've seen, and then obviously they'll come down to the young ones. But you got to remember as well that elite athletes are going to probably be one of the, well, not so much elite athletes, but the younger generation are going to be one of the last to be having it, because you know what I mean, they're not as high risk as the others. So I'm hoping September, like you say. I mean, if we can, then that'll be amazing to get a you know what I mean. If we got September, I'll probably run every month, two shows in a month until the end of the year, and then we're back to normal next year.
Does it worry you that, let's say September you're back up and running, that people are still reluctant to attend or a bit worried about, you know, the virus going around? Does that concern you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I've spoke to people and they're all just buzzing to get out and enjoy themselves and get to see live boxing again, the ones that's really into the boxing. And it's nice just to be able to take your missus out for a meal, have a few drinks and that, and we're all looking forward to it. I mean, there's always going to be that concern, but I mean, look at the flu and all that. I mean, you can catch a virus wherever you are. I mean, it's just part of life and part of nature. But it is concerning. I mean, it will probably play on a lot of people's minds. They're going to be a bit more wary who they're around, and if they're sneezing and what have you, they're going to be, you know what I mean, looking at them gone out and that. So it's going to be very strange. It's going to take a bit of a while for them to get back in the routine and get things back to normal. I mean, it's what is going to be the normal? I mean, it's going to be crazy. I mean, who would have thought this 2021 we're in this mess? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. Robert Smith also said about, you know, again, potentially if Small Hall did go ahead, then there may be, you know, more medical advice going out, i.e. all the fighters on the bill have to have a vaccine or be COVID tested. And then he's talking about, you don't know how, is that going to be the same for the fans? You know, are they all going to have a vaccine? I mean, it still sounds like a bit of a mess and a bit of a pain in the arse to kind of even think about, doesn't it?
No, I mean, the cost of medicals now, you see, I mean, what you've got, £500-600 for your brain scan, your bloods, your full medical, your opticians, and then you've got your license fee, £160. So you're looking at about £760 a year for each boxer at the minute. Then they're going to stick obviously you've got to have this vaccine as well. That'll probably be another £150. You're looking on for nearly £1,000 a year. You know what I mean? And if you're not really a journeyman type fighter who's out every few weeks, it's quite a lot of money to find. Obviously, you've got to rely on sponsors and all that. But yeah, I mean, I've just took a job for Brad Dawes, actually, one of my up and coming prospects. He's 6-0. He's going on an MTK show. He's boxing in Dubai on the 6th of February, which is fantastic. He's fighting Mark McEwen, who's 3-0. And I got a message off Lee and the promoter saying that all Brad's medicals are out, which we knew about, but we just thought it'd be routine. Ring up Anne at the Spire in Liverpool, and she'd book you in next Friday, and you turn up and like everybody has been doing, even with all this, you know what I mean, COVID going on. And she turned around and said, "Oh, there's a new procedure now. You've got to have a COVID test before you turn up. You've got to be once you've had your test, you've got to isolate until you actually been to the clinic." So is that going on again? Is that going on already? So Brad's had to go and have a COVID test this morning. He's had his eye test this morning. Now he's going to be waiting at home now until he goes for his medical on Tuesday. So it's starting already. So that's turned out a bit of a chore now, you know what I mean? But it sounds a chore. I mean, he's had it done, but he's just got to be careful now and be careful who he's around and stay at home until he's had his medical.
Have you had many of your guys just come to you and just say, "Do you know what? If there's no shows, let's say this year, they're just thinking about packing it in altogether"?
No, I've not had that yet, but I've had a lot of my lads that was quite active and used to speak to me quite regularly, just vanished basically. A lot of my journeymen. I spoke to Fons Alexander, aiming for a couple of months now, and he said to me probably 6 months ago when I offered him a few fights, he said, "Look, unless I can be out nearly every week, which I have been doing, I'm not really interested." He said, "I just don't want to get my medical done and fight every 2 or 3 months." He said, "It's not worth it for me." So anyway, he's cracking on with work. I mean, I've not had one phone call for Sam Bowen, which is said, well, I'm starting to get a couple actually, but they're not the right fights, not the right jobs. He's got a new job now. It's been 14 months since he lost his British title. There was no interest in him for a year. Now they've had a couple of offers, but they're not the right fights, not the right money, and so I don't know what's happening with him. I mean, it's strange because a lot of them are just, like I've said to people in interviews before, I mean, they're going to get in the way of a normal life. You know what I mean? They're going to get used to normal life, being around the families and that, and because boxers don't live a normal life. You know what I mean? Even the ones that work, they get up in the morning, they run, they're at work all day, they're in the gym at night, they go home, have the food in bed, and it's like the same routine every day. Now, obviously, they've got more time on their hands. The only good thing is they're not allowed to go out partying and on the drink and to the clubs and all that. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing. But I don't know. The more you get into a normal life, obviously, lads are going to start putting weights on. They're going to look in the mirror and think, "Bloody hell, I'm 2 stone overweight here." And they might just think, "You know what, sack this. I can't be bothered to start. I can't be bothered. It's done now. I'm finished." But I'm hoping not. We'll see. But I've not had no one really tell me they're finishing. They've packed up. So we'll see.